usable. Psalm 40. David writes and he says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and He inclined to me, and He heard my cry. And He brought me up out of a horrible pit. Not just any old pit, a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and He set my feet upon a rock, that's a sure place, and He established my steps. I think if we had kind of a little Jamaican beat, maybe with that verse, maybe we could put something together. Anyway, that's one that's been put to song. And so David says, this is what the Lord has done in my life. And then, David went through some kind of an experience where God pulled him out of miry clay. You think, I'm in miry clay. Oh, what is miry clay? And then what is a pit? It's kind of like, it's just a well, basically, it's kind of gone dry. And, but it's all there is mud down there. And so the water had kind of gone out, just a little bit of water down there, a whole bunch of mud down there. And what would they do? They'd just lower the prisoners down. That's what they did to Jeremiah. They just lowered him right down. They didn't like what he had to say. They lowered him right down into the pit, into the miry clay. And you go down in there, and you just got mud right up to here. You got your hand up there. And you just start to rot away. Your body just starts to rot in the moisture. And so David said, that's the kind of thing that I was in. Now, fascinating thing is that, have you ever been stuck in mud? Ever been into mud up here? You need some help getting out when you're in mud like that. You ever get just 1 foot up to your knee in mud and try and get it out? It's a workout. Whew. Don't you do it, Bruce. You'll lose your whole leg. Bruce hurt his knee taking a boot off. If he tried to get out of that, I'd be concerned for him. Sorry about bringing that up, Bruce. That's Bruce Johnson, by the way, for the tape. We're friends. Am I as red as you? Okay. But you need help out of that kind of a place. And so he would have been happy with just getting out of there. But then God got him out of that trial and put him on a rock and established his steps. And He's put a new song in my mouth. And so David already had a gazillion songs that he had written. But man, he after that experience, he said, Lord, there's a song here somewhere. And so and he wrote a song about it, and that's great. These experiences in our life that songs, come out of. And he said, praise to our God. Many will see it and fear and will trust in the Lord. Blessed is that man who makes the Lord his trust and does not respect the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Lord my God, are your wonderful works which you have done. And your thoughts which are toward us cannot be recounted to you in order. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. So you wonder, God's forgotten about me. Hey, He thinks about us with more thoughts than can be numbered. In fact, in another psalm we're told that His thoughts towards us at any moment in time is as the sand. That's a lot of thoughts all at once. He's thinking about us all the time. And then another place it tells us that the thoughts are good. God, is He gracious or what? He said, sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears you have opened. Burnt offering and sin offering you did not require. And then I said, behold, I come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me, I delight to do your will, O my God, and your law is within my heart. And so the image is of David coming into the tabernacle, and he's got the scroll of the law in his arms. And he knows that the Old Testament, the law and the prophets, contained instruction on how he was to be a king. And so he's walking with this scroll, that's the image, and he's saying, whatever this tells me that I need to be in order to be the king, I'm submitted to that. And then the writer of Hebrews takes the same passage and attributes it in Hebrews chapter 10, I think it is, ascribes it to Jesus, because David took that scroll, took the word, and applied it to his life as it related to being the king over Israel, the Messiah, Jesus. He submitted, to the word and to the will of the Father as the king of heaven and earth, all of the universe. And so it was just a shadow as it related to David. Its fullness was found in the Lord Jesus, submitted to the Father's will in the fulfillment of all of the book. I've proclaimed the good news of righteousness, as we go through here, you'll see that this passage, speaks of David, but it also has that shadow concerning Jesus. I've proclaimed the good news of righteousness in the great congregation. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips. O Lord, you yourself know. Have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I've declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great congregation. And so here talking about the loving kindness and truth. Again, a picture of Jesus. That's all this is right here. Full of grace, full of loving kindness and truth. And so Jesus is all through the psalm. Again, an illustration of the fact that the volume of the book is written of him. So innumerable, verse 12, for innumerable evils have surrounded me. My iniquities have overtaken me so that I'm not able to look up. They're more than the hairs of my head, and therefore my heart fails me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. Let them be ashamed and brought to mutual confusion who seek to destroy my life. Let them be driven backward and brought to dishonor who wish me evil. Let them be appalled because of their shame who say to me, aha, aha. And so a picture kind of the cross here. Of course, Jesus had no sin as David did, but Jesus was, greater in the sense that he bore our sin. Verse 16, let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let such as love your salvation say continually, the Lord be magnified. So try and think of the last time you said that, because we love his salvation. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinks upon me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay,